Hello and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs Friday Focus. Myself, Graham Muncie, joined by Dave Harley as we look back over a tight encounter, finishing Glasgow Tigers 43, What the Fork Monarchs 41. Of course, Dave, the result marred as we stand here. The match cut short due to no medical cover. A horrific looking crash for Ulrich Ostergaard in Heat 15. A long time on the track, into the ambulance, and I believe originally they hoped there would be no trip to the hospital, but as we stand here, I believe Ulrich is still in the ambulance. Obviously we won't speculate on anything, but he was complaining of back pain, and of course if it's back pain you've got to take every precaution, rightfully so, Dave.
Yeah, rider safety always comes first, especially as you say with backs. You can't take risks with that, and it was a horrendous crash. He's hit that fence so fast as I've seen anybody hit the fence in a long time. It's hopefully the air fence has helped a wee bit, but as you know, sometimes if that lifts if the bike lifts it and you're through and hit the bike and they had to dig him out, it's never a good sign. And first and foremost, and always it's hope Ulrich's okay. And it'd be good to see him on Sunday if that's possible.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Everyone's thoughts are with Ulrich straight away, and you can tell by the sombre mood, in both camps, but particularly in the Glasgow camp, that after a derby win away from home, there was very little celebration. The riders went out to acknowledge the fans for making the trip, but that was as much celebration as there was. And Dave, it was when any rider has a crash like that, when any rider gets injured, that's the horrible part of Speedway. It's a sport and we all get built up and we want to support our team, but at the end of the day these are human beings. We'll try and put that to the side, and as I say, we'll reiterate now and we'll reiterate again at the end. Our thoughts are with Ulrich, and we wish him a full and speedy recovery. And as Dave says, no one will be more delighted than everyone if he can line up in Heat 4 at Ashfield on Sunday. But if we look back to the meeting, it was building a crescendo. It had been nip and tuck the whole way. There was never more than 2 points between the teams. The Monarchs taking a 2-point advantage in Heat 1, Tigers firing back pretty quickly, then Tigers getting ahead. The Monarchs never managed to get back ahead, and we're going into that Heat 15. It was a 2-point advantage, obviously, to the Tigers, and it was lined up for a cracker. Sam off the inside had made a jump. Josh was probably the Monarchs' best rider on the night with 11 points. Craig Cook, a down night probably for Cookie, and Ulrich, who was Glasgow's best rider. And it was really set for a big crescendo and a big finale.
Yeah, it was going to be a huge race, and it's 4 fantastic riders, as we know. I mean, Cookie's not quite at his best tonight, but he was building on it, and you never know in Heat 15 what's going to happen. And Ulrich was brilliant tonight. He was, as I said through the week, he was excellent against us at Scunthorpe. He's been brilliant for Glasgow all season. He's number 1 for Peterborough now, and so it was going to be a great race, and the end to a really gripping meeting where Willie Lawson bringing the house down in Heat 12, and
we'll see that later.
Had a bit. The meeting just had a bit of everything. Unfortunately, had a bit of the bad side of Speedway as well. That's why we're not finished, and we're going to be disappointed. We've lost the meeting, but it's not always the most important thing.
But that's it, isn't it? The score probably kept the meeting tight and interesting early doors, and the track came to the riders that went on. 2 fantastic races. Heat 12, as I say, we'll see later on. Heat 14 was a fantastic race as well. It was building to that, but as we say, it wasn't to be. Final score 43-41 to the Tigers. 3 points head along the M8, and the Tigers cement that position at the top of the table. We look down the scores, Dave, and we start from the Monarchs side. Pluses, minuses. Riders probably worth more than their score, but that's the nature of the beast. There's riders that have ridden or ride worse than they rode tonight and get 3 or 4 times the points. I think the Kai Thompson.
Definitely,
Kai, I don't think he only scored 2, but he could ride like that again on another week and get 5 or 6, no problem. Nathan maybe looked a week too early for Nathan.
I think he wasn't quite ready yet. I mean, and unfortunately he's then taken a nasty off, and when he's made the start, and he's suddenly looking like he might get space to ride his bike, and with nobody in front of him, unfortunately that's come off, and that's possibly cost us a little bit, as you say. Kai unlucky. I think Joe Lawler as well, in a meeting where the other team aren't quite so strong. I think he'd picked up a few more points, and it's a good third place in Heat 2, beating
the only time Bailey came
Conor
back.
Bailey, exactly. So
definitely, I'd say that was Joe's best performance round Armadale,
and he's competitive chasing in the other last race as well.
Yeah, obviously then we got the top men. They were doing what you would expect by and by. Josh Pickering, fantastic, 11 points from his 4 rides. Richie Worrell, maybe not quite as sharp as he would have liked off the gates, but always fast, always challenging. Was at 9 points for Richie. And Sam Masters, 8 from his first 3 then, an uncharacteristic mistake in Heat 13. He made the gate, and then I think he maybe tried to cut it back tight, and his foot's come off the footrest, He's almost spun it, and you can't give Cook and Ostergaard and guys a head start, so I'll last there. But, competitive throughout and tight throughout there. We flip it over to the Tigers side, and we've mentioned led by Ulrich Ostergaard, 11 from his 4 before Heat 15, a fantastic effort, and then just solid throughout. I think I did a quick count, and I think was it 4 last places, 5 last places, and 14 heats.
Yep.
And that shows, we touch on it every week, Dave. Winning races is great, but you don't get an advantage if your rider's at the back, and that's what Glasgow nullified tonight. And they'll,
they'll have been confident they would have got Heat 15. They would have got 3-3 from the guys up there. So they maybe, could have still won the meeting if we'd had Heat 15. But it's one of these things you never know. It's they've started. Ricky Wells and Justin Sedgman have looked so good in their first couple of rides, but we did rein them in a bit later on, and all of them have come good. Even Connor Bailey with when we're thinking of him, you're thinking, let's make sure he doesn't get any more. Doesn't pick up any points, but he's picked up a couple, and that's they're solid from 1 to 7, and they've got a good few Armadale specialists in them, and we saw that in bits tonight.
That's it. There's a reason they're top of the league. When you're the chasing team, you're always upset when it gets called off early, albeit we know the circumstances. When you're the team in front, maybe eases it slightly, but it wasn't to be. And we can only look at the scores on the night. We'll now get reaction from the Monarchs camp, and one man who when the dust settled can look back on an improved night was Willie Lawson. A big score from Willie, 9 points, and we hear from Willie now.
So Willie, a dampener end, obviously a big crash, no one likes to see that, and Ulrich, I believe, still getting medical attention as we speak. But if we look at the meeting, it's first home defeat of the season for the Monarchs, so there must be a bit of disappointment in the camp.
A little bit, yeah. Never really got a chance to watch much of the meeting. A few problems myself, but I always knew it was going to be close, with Glasgow. But I think we could have got them in the end.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned a few problems there, but you battled hard, 9 points. I think that's the engine you used against Leicester a few weeks ago is finally back, and it seems to be making a bit of the difference. You're making some starts there, and that's pretty much what you've been saying all season. If you can get yourself level, come to the second bender in front, you're going to be a hard man to pass.
Yeah, I was feeling confident as well, but probably my ignition, my first 2 was kind of cutting out during the race. Then the reason it's took me so long to get it back is the problems getting bits for the cylinder head and stuff, so I just had to make do with what I had. I've been using my Berwick engine, the engine I used at Glasgow on Sunday around here, so it's not really ideal.
And then Heat 14, it was a close one, but you maybe just couldn't quite find that line. You were close, but they were kind of team riding you a wee bit. And
I got stuck down. I wanted to go for the dive bomb, but I couldn't quite get there. And I just got in wider earlier and got the cut back. I think I'd done something, but it was close anyway. So.
Yeah, and obviously home defeat for the Monarchs, but we've seen on the road we've bounced back well this season. So we took a draw at Redcar, we won at Eastbourne, we won at Berwick. So we've just got to dust ourselves off and see what we can do on Sunday.
We're looking forward to Sunday anyway, so we'll have a good meeting there.
Well, thanks very much, Willie. All the best for Sunday.
Yeah, well, Lawson, and I think that engine he had in the Leicester match has been away, and I believe it's, as he said in the interview, there's any kind of workman seems to have in this. There's just shortages of everything across the board. I know, and it sounds still like to compare this to Speedway, but I know electricians, plumbers, joiners that are complaining they can't get materials, and there was a part that needed machined and a part that needed engineered for Willie, and they couldn't get the materials for it, and that's why that's been away from them. But a big improvement in, I'm saying that's him got an Armadale engine he's comfortable on now. The away performances have been better, so hopefully we'll see more of that on Sunday. And we've seen it in the last couple of weeks with Kite Reserve, just how much stronger and how better balanced the Monarchs are when they've got a big score in reserve. And if Willie can pick up that mantle, it'll make a big difference.
Yeah, that's it. And you've got the opportunity when someone like Nathan, unfortunately, because his injury's not quite so good, so you're able to take him out his 4th race, and Willie's almost beaten Ricky in that race as well. Is that's a phenomenal performance from Willie in those couple of races from where he's been. Just a little bit disappointed, didn't quite make it in Heat 14, but couldn't be any closer. So it's a step up for him, but just one or two small things we'll just take out of it, and hopefully he'll move on, and he'll be that powerful reserve that we need to close off Heats 2, 8, 12, and make sure we're not losing points and we're ahead, and we're not relying on Heat 13 and Heat 15 to pull us out, because that's where we are tonight, and for other reasons we weren't able to take advantage of that, but solid team all the way through.
Yep, so good to see Willie back among the points. From Glasgow's point of view, I guess the man that you probably thought would have been leading from the front, Craig Cook, he didn't have as strong an Armadale night certainly as had in the past, but always takes time to speak to us, and I caught up with Cookie after the match as well.
So Craig, it's 3 points for the team, but I guess first concerns with the teammate Ulrich tripping the ambulance. Have you had any update or managed to speak to him at all?
Nothing at all. He's in the safest hands as of now. And just fingers crossed he isn't too bad or as bad as what we first faced. So obviously must have been a nasty crash. I didn't quite catch it, but best wishes to him, and fingers crossed that he's okay.
That's it. It puts a dampener on. He was flying probably Tiger's best rider tonight, maybe the best rider on show. But so fingers crossed to say as well, when we find out what's happening, it's another 3 points for the Tigers on the road and a big win.
Yeah, he's been flying everywhere. He's really been on form. He's been doing great in the top league as well. He's riding for number 1 at Peterborough, and he's doing great. And he's put a lot of effort in over the years, and he's finally reaping the rewards this year. So fair play to him. I'm very happy for him. But he definitely puts a damper on the night. Although we've got 3 points, and to finish a meeting like that, there's not many cheers or anything going on. So. Yeah, obviously everyone's just concerned for Ulrich, and we will all wish him a speedy recovery.
And obviously the team did find the time to head up to the third bend and give their thanks to the Tigers fans for coming out. Great for Speedway as a whole, certainly Scottish Speedway, to see that many fans back in and a big home and away support, and it'll be more the same on Sunday.
Yeah, when we're bringing 400 fans over, it's a phenomenal amount of people, and the Tigers fans are great supporters, as are the Monarchs. So yeah, they support the team with every inch, and it's great for all the support, and they really make a difference.
Well, thanks very much for speaking to Craig. It was hard when your teammates saw on the ambulance.
Craig there, obviously, his first concern is on his teammate. That's always going to be the case, but we do thank him. It's obviously difficult to speak to us, but we do thank him for taking the time. Dave, that's we've ran through the scores. We've got the reaction from both camps. I guess there's only one thing left, and that's our heat of the night, and that involved William Lawson. A fantastic battle in heat number 12. We'll see that now.
Okay, Justin Sedgman on gate 1. Not certain I would have made that change, but we'll see what happens. Gate 2, Obi-Kai Thompson. Ricky Wells coming from gate 3, so a lot of experience and Armadale knowledge on the Tigers side here. Tigers away well, but it's Lawson round the outside. Look at this from Lawson, my goodness. He's gone ahead. Tremendous. What can Kai do? Ricky Wells has closed in. He's already passed Lawson in one race. And he's on that inside line once again. Very close. Tremendous race. Oh, I think Wells has gone ahead, has he? So tight. Thompson's into third. And look at this from Lawson. He's gone ahead again. And Thompson's attacking Wells as well. Thompson going for the big blast. Lawson gets the win. Well, that was the race of the night so far by a mile, I think. And what a superbly won 4-2 by the Monarchs. And I did query that change in the reserve berth from the Tigers. But it was the Monarchs who performed. William Lawson from gate 4, a superb ride.
Yep. And in blue for William Lawson. William showing as much emotion as he ever does there with the old Peter Carr wave down the back straight. But a fantastic ride by Lawson. Second in white was Ricky Wells. Third in red was Kai Thompson, and at the back Justin Sedgman. I don't think, as you said, Mike, there's any question that was a heat of the night, and I mean, from the start to the finish, that could have finished anyway.
Cracking race from all four. At one point it looked like Kai was going to get up to join Willie. At one point it looked like the two Monarchs could have been at the back. All four of them battling for those positions. Some fantastic racing, and it was getting to that stage as the meeting wore on. The racing was just getting better and better.
Absolutely, and it's another plus is we've got more fans in the fans in the crowd
Yep.
tonight, and with obviously the Glasgow fans. There's a brilliant atmosphere, as I said earlier. It brought house down. Willie bringing that in his performances there. So let's see more of that, and let's get more people back here. Get some decent atmosphere, some good racing, and Friday, as we always say, Friday night Speedway night, and we want this place to be for the rest of the season.
Yep, that's it. We'll look to bounce back and dust ourselves down as the Monarchs head to Ashfield on Sunday. 3 p.m. tapes up. Actually, as we speak just now, I'm not sure what the scenario is, if there's any tickets or not left. If there's not, I know Glasgow are streaming it as well, so all the Monarchs fans can watch that also if you can't make it along to Ashfield. Beyond that, we'll be back on Wednesday night as we look ahead to next Friday's visit of the Birmingham Brummies. Just now it's a championship match. I don't know if there's any plans to change that to the Cup.
No.
Birmingham are opposition in the next round of the Cup, so keep an eye on the Monarchs social media for any updates on that. But until then, thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.